Alright then, welcome. I think everyone's here now. All the seats are full. So, first time playing. Very first time. Sort out the sound, the music's too loud. Blowing my head off. What's that? Let's fucking turn it down a bit. Alright, what else? Let's look at the graphics. What did it say? Camera shake, we'll see. See how much they're asking, how much money do they want, what they're going to be talking about. Graphics quality reduced to improve performance. Ooh, let's just turn this off. Frame rate, say it to 60 minutes. Still sounds loudest. Alright, what else? Frame rate 60, yeah. FSR mode. This decreases image quality. It is in fact lower res rendering. No need. Particle system shadows, probably we don't need them. High. I like to put, okay. High is as high as it goes. SSR, medium. Film grain, ugh. Turn it off, it's heavy. Alright, sounds good to me. Tooltips, why not? Look, quick saves, we're gonna need more than 3, and auto saves are gonna, let's look at all this. Language, English, bloodstains, gore, bloodstains again, double bloodstains. Allow sending game starts. What do you want to know? What do you want? Trying to spy on me? Allow sending of saved games. Occasionally. But not more often than hourly. Get out of it. Sure. Game start control. All collected game stats are stored on our server. You can always view submitted game stats by choosing show your stats will open in your browser. You can remove your game stats from our server anytime. You know, all this just for boom, destroy them, boom, boom. I don't even have any game stats, so that's why it's not working. Sure. So it's gonna load a browser, maybe. Anyway, it didn't do anything. Oh, save enabled. What's it saying? I usually do it myself, you know. I don't need them to. Okay. But you can put more. What we're gonna do now? Tooltip delay. Show basic tutorial. Yeah, we'll just do it for now. Auto pause. Pause when a trap. Yep. Pause when a hidden object is detected. Okay. Pause when an area is loaded. Pause on loading screen. I mean pause on loading screen. What do you mean pause when, you know? Auto enter off. Lock camera to moving character. Move camera to currently acting. Combat speeds on demand. Anyway, fast movement on. Yeah, skip non. Attack animations. Alright, increase. Apply. It's looking good so far. So what else? So, new design. Alright, let's start then, yeah. Let me just check this thing over here and then we'll get going. Maybe share information with each other, learn about the game. I wonder if dear friend Roganbout gonna stream this anytime soon. And who else? Wurgley is already deep into the game, of course. Without Wurgley, we wouldn't even know about this game, to be fair. Although, you know, it comes on Steam and all that. But, you know, when I say you wouldn't know the game, I mean you won't understand it as well without certain individuals such as Wurgley and Roganbout. So anyway, what's it saying? Blah blah. They want to Unity Analytics to analyze your experience. You can opt out of data collection. Blah blah blah. By clicking accept, you confirm that you've read and agreed to the terms. What happens if you say no? I don't agree. See? I think if you click you agree, then it's gonna start sending your data, you know, whatever you pick, and the things you don't pick. Scenario, we only got the main campaign. Difficulty, interesting. Look, story. Enemy stats are reduced by what happened? Okay, reduced by -30. Enemy wounds reduced by -60. Damage inflicted by enemies is reduced. Enemy dodge is reduced. The party's momentum gains are increased. Okay, and then normal. Enemy stats are reduced. Enemy wounds are reduced. Damage inflicted by enemies is reduced. Daring. Enemy stats including wounds and dodge are not reduced. So daring is normal basically. Look, the party's momentum gains are The party's momentum gains are not scaled. Minimum damage for party members is blah, blah. So basically this is normal. This difficulty is not recommended for players not familiar with Warhammer Role Trader system. So that means if you never played it, they said don't even bother put. But then how are you gonna learn? Sometimes if you play on this kind of thing, in a way you're making it worse for yourself, because then you're never gonna learn. Anything you pick is gonna work. So that's the thing. But anyway, yeah, sometimes you just want to go through it and maybe it's about the story or something, but I don't know. If you want to learn something, it's not gonna happen on this, is it? I doubt it. Anyway, hard, what does it say? Stats increased by 10%, wounds are increased by plus 20%, damage inflicted by enemies is 10%. The party's momentum gains are decreased by 15. Okay, look, the chance to hit cover when shooting enemies is increased by 10% for half cover and 20% for full cover. A party member receives an injury if they receive damage that is equal to or higher than 40% of their total wounds in one round. A party member receives an injury, right? Injuries lead to wounds. This is not recommended. And then this one, enemy stats are increased by plus 20. Enemy wounds are increased by plus 80. Enemy wounds. I mean enemy wounds. You mean they can wound you plus 80% or what? Enemy wounds are increased. The chance that they can wound you. Damage inflicted by enemies is increased by 20% after all modifiers have been applied. Enemy dodges increased by plus 20%. The party's momentum gains are decreased. Look, 25%. It's gonna take 25% longer. The chance to hit cover when shooting at enemies is increased by 20 and 30% for full cover. Party members receives an injury if they receive damage that is right. They see the threshold is even less now. Alright, cool. Space combat difficulty. Minimum damage dealt to enemy ships after reduction 0. Right. Number of rounds before a fresh wound becomes an old wound. Oh look, it tells you everything here, what it means, man. So a lot to look at. Let's see. Enemy unit dodge modifier. This value is added to the base chance of an enemy's dodge against all attacks. Alright, dodge or doge. Parameter. Oh man, how are we gonna? Parameter helps negate damage. Look, damage calculation. The damage received from attacks with ranged or melee weapons as well as from other abilities is calculated in the same way. There are several factors involved. The damage that a character inflicts is affected by parameters of the weapon used. The target's deflection, what does it say? Directly reduce received damage by its value, but deflection can be reduced by deflection negation. Right, look, deflection negation. Most weapons have the deflection negation parameter, which makes attacks on enemies more efficient, reducing the deflection value of the enemy's armor. This parameter affects the calculation of attack damage. Alright, right, negation. It's gonna bypass it. So damage is also reduced by the target's armor. So look, armor is parameter a character or an object can have. Armor is always expressed as percent. If a character with 30% armor would suffer 9 damage, they instead only suffer 6. And if they would suffer 300, they would only suffer 210. If 200 damage would be dealt to a character with 90% armor, the character only suffers 30% damage. Okay. Good. Damage is also reduced by target's armor, applied as a flat percentage. Oh, they just went over armor penetration. Let's look at one of the main parameters of a weapon. It represents the percentage by which the enemy's armor can be reduced. The parameter affects the calculation of attack damage. The value of armor penetration is indicated in the description of the weapon. Alright. So what else? We'll talk about dodge, won't we? Dodge reduction. The base value of this stat is the sum of the attacker's perception. Interesting. Perception is involved with attack, right? Look. Perception, attacker's perception, and half of their agility score, but perception is the main thing. And half of their agility score if the character uses a melee weapon. When dodging an area attack made by a ranged weapon, the character can only move up to 3 cells in order to leave the affected area. Only in this case can a dodge be successful. If for some reason the character is unable to leave the affected area, they automatically take grazing hit. What? When dodging an area? What? An area attack deals damage to all creatures in its area of effect. Such attack can be made with melee weapons, some ranged, and through some special abilities. Alright, but here it said when dodging an area attack made by a ranged weapon, the character can only move up to 3 cells in order to leave the effect. Why? What if you've got full movement? Why? Anyway, maybe I just don't understand what they want. That don't make sense to me. Funny. Where is it? So did I miss something? Yeah, look. Alright, so then what? Half cover and all that. We know about it, man. How are you supposed to look at a character hiding behind cover has a chance to avoid range? Full cover indicated by skull on the shield. Reduce the chance to hit. When enemies from the opposite side of a character's cover attack them, the character must pass a cover test. Oh my, I never knew there was a test. Look, the success of a test is determined by rolling a 100-sided die. Each skill test has a difficulty of up to 100. To succeed, you must roll a value less than the sum of both the stated difficulty and the value of the skill. For example, you are attempting a test with the difficulty of -10. Your character's tech skill is 40, so the thing is 30. Therefore, to succeed, you must roll a 30 or less. Any result above 30 will mean failure. Note that difficulty. Alright, no problem. Just something to be aware of, right? That one. Cover deals test, right? If successful, the character avoids damage from the attack. However, if the cover can be destroyed, it will take damage instead of the character. Alright, cover cannot protect the character from melee attacks. Area attacks, including those from melee weapons, can completely obliterate destructible cover. Interesting. Full and partial cover provide differing chances for attack avoidance. Partial cover protects a character from attacks originating at least 1 cell away from the partial cover, but not directly next to it. Full cover protects a character from one side To make an attack from behind full cover, the character must be at its very edge. During a range attack, they automatically step out onto the unoccupied cell, make an attack and return back. Enemies can shoot at a character behind full cover only if they can see the space the character is on. Okay. Alright, okay. Full cover, right. Look, full cover, hit half and full. It's the same, everything else gonna be the same. And then this pie momentum. With momentum, your pie members can use unique abilities and heroic acts and desperate measures. Let's just click it. Each archetype has a number of unique abilities. Archetype defines a character's role as the character level up. The rank of the archetype will increase opening up. Look, whenever the assassin hits opening, because it said it's just a database. Look, opening up access to new abilities and talents. Talents are grant passive bonuses. Characteristics, basic parameters, which define a character's skill, scores, number of wounds, hit chance, and many other things. Each character has its own corresponding bonus. A positive modifier applied to a skill or characteristic, score, damage, armor, and other character parameters. A bonus can be provided by different abilities, items, or actions such as use or cover. So let's go back. Characteristics. Characteristic bonus is equal to the digit in the tens place of the characteristic value. For example, if a character's strength is equal to 41, the strength bonus is 4, and if the strength is 52, it's going to be 5. Then 9, weapon skill. WS reflects a character's competence in all forms of close combat. It increases the parry and reduces enemy parry and dodge chance against melee attacks. It also increases chances of scoring a critical hit. Let's expand it, shall we? Critical hit allows the character to deal increased damage to the enemy. If a character scores a crit, the target takes 150% of the normal damage by default, but some talents, effect, and abilities could increase the amount. The base chance is 10% for ranged and 0 for melee. Interesting. So you can get more chance with ranged. That's what they're telling you. What else? Ballistic skill, BS as what we call it, reflects a character's accuracy with all form of range. A high ballistic skill indicates that a character is a deadeye, someone to be feared in a gunfight. The base hit chance in combat attacks and hits. In combat, characters can attack from a distance with firearms or close with melee. The 3 types of range: single shot, type of range aimed at a single target. Such shots cannot hit opponents standing between the shooter and his target, but in the case of a missed successful dodge or successful over penetration, they can damage characters behind the main target, both enemies and allies. When a character attacks with a single shot, they roll to hit one target with a base success chance of 30 plus ballistic skill. After the roll, any bonus that increase hit chance are added to the result. This chance is halved if the enemy is further than the effective range of the weapon, usually half the max range. Overpen. Most non-area range weapon attacks have a chance to cause overpen. When this happens, the attack will also damage the creatures and objects behind the intended target, although damage to targets beyond is usually low. Okay. So that was range, a type of range that aimed at a single target. So plus 30 ballistic skill. What else? Range burst. Bursto! Genshin Bursto! Shooting in bursts allow you to fire several shots. Their number is equal to the rate of fire parameter specified in the weapon. When firing a burst, the character fires several shots, all of which are considered one action and have an attack tag. This means that for each shot, bonuses that work for one attack but not for an individual shot will be applied. When firing a burst though, instead of rolling to hit, a test is made to determine the trajectory of the shot. Burst shots automatically hit the first target in their trajectory, be it friend or foe, right? They hit the closest enemy. Burst shots automatically hit the first target in the path. An area. Area attack deal damage to all creatures in its area of effect. Such attacks can be made with melee, range, blah blah. We read it before. Agility. Agility measures a character's quickness, reflex, and poise. High agility allow a character to manipulate delicate explosive with finesse or keep their footing when crossing treacherous terrain. It improves the character's initiative. Interesting. Need to look at. At the start of each battle, all characters in combat are separated into allied and enemy groups with 2 to 4 characters in each. An allied group's turn. The sum of a character's actions during a round. Once a character attacks, they lose their remaining movement points, unable to move until the start of the next turn. However, there is a way around this. For example, the character has some way of gaining movement after attacking. Right. So you gotta move, then attack. You can't move, attack, and move again. So anyway, an allied group's turn alternates with an enemy group turn. The character initiative determines which group of allies or enemies they are assigned to. The higher a character's initiative, the higher the chance of being added to a group that is closer to the start of the initiative tracker, therefore allowing them to act first in combat. The first to act is the group whose average initiative, total initiative divided by the number of characters, is the highest. Initiative is calculated using the formula agility bonus plus perception again. See? So how can you skimp on perception? Answer. You cannot. So perception being mentioned again, let's just click it. Perception describes how well a character perceives their surrounding. Characters with high perception can pick out a stray bolt casing in between the day-to-day morass of and the hive or blah 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 blah. Awareness skill. Awareness skill. It also affects awareness skill and reduce enemy dodge. Let's look at awareness. This skill is affected by perception. It encompasses the subconscious ability to react to things. So doesn't everyone need a high perception and awareness? I reckon so. It's a prerequisite to being a effective combat operative, right? How can you not perceive and be aware? But you want to have high damage or something, high strength, but you can't even see what's going on, tripping over your own feet. Anyway, where were we looking at all the things? Look, strength. It's not going to tell you any more than that. Look, it's alright, here it is. Strength describes how physically strong a character is. It affects the damage a character inflicts with melee and allow them to lift heavy object. For each bonus point of strength, characters deal 1 additional damage with melee. It also affects athletics. Let's check it out. The skill is affected by strength. It represents a character's ability to traverse difficult terrain. for example, lethal, so you need it, man. If you're a melee character, you need a high strength. Toughness defines how easily a character can shrug off injuries. Let's have a look at this injuries. After falling into a trap or receiving damage that exceeds 50% of the total wounds within a round, the character will receive a fresh injury. The exact percentage of wounds a character must lose for this to happen may vary depending on the difficulty of the game. Injuries reduce a character's resolve. If the fresh injury is not healed within 3 rounds using a med kit, it will turn into an old injury. You can also get rid of old injury with a med kit. However, healing will require an additional Medicaid. This skill is affected by intelligence. It is essential to detect and cure injuries that characters suffer in combat. It also increases the number of wounds restored by medkit and allows the use of high quality medkit. High Medicaid also assists healing injuries before they turn into traumas. Trauma. If a character who has received 3 or more injuries does not heal them with a medikit, the injury will become a trauma. The number of injuries that cause a trauma will vary. Trauma reduce a character's resolve and inflict an additional negative effect, which depends on the specifics of a particular trauma. Traumas can only be removed and fully healed in Rogue Trader's private quarters on the Void Ship. Types of negative. Under the influence of negative effect, your character chance of survival are reduced. They receive penalties to their characteristics, skills, or actions and may suffer direct damage each turn. When a character is subject to any effect, a corresponding icon will appear. What was the other thing? Resolve influences how efficiently and for long characters. Resolve influences how efficiently and for long characters can fight in the battle. It determines the amount of momentum gained at the beginning of each turn. Alright. Did we read this before? With momentum, your party member can use unique abilities called I remember this. Heroic Act can only be used if the party's momentum is 175 or higher. The first use of an act in combat costs 75, with each subsequent use increasing by 25. Each character can only use either a heroic attack or a desperate measure once in a combat. What's a desperate measure? A party may only resort to using a desperate measure if their momentum score is lower than 25. If a character's wounds are lower than 50, it can be used at 75 momentum, and if the character doesn't reduce the resolve of the character to 0 until the end of combat. Each character can. Alright, we'll see what it does. What else? Desperate measures, negative effect, resolve, trauma, medikit, intelligence, characteristic. Let me just see. We're reading about toughness and look. Shrug off injuries. What was before that? Yeah, okay. Cool. It also affects this skill over here. Let's see. This skill is affected by toughness. It represents the ability to resist negative effects applied by some poison, stimulators, or alcohol. May give access to new dialogues, right? Maybe you want your main protagonist might have it. I don't know. What else? There was some more stuff actually. Oh well, it's gone. So agility. Initiative, dodge reduction, demolition skill. Deactivate traps. Allows the use of explosives to blast containers open or break through closed doors. Okay. Intelligence is a measure of the character's acumen, reason, and knowledge. It also affects law, Imperium. The skill is affected by intelligence. It reflects a character's understanding of Imperium tenets, history, and structure, may give access to new dialogue. Law warp represents knowledge about the nature of warp, an alternate dimension of pure energy and madness, existing as a mirror to real space, also known as immaterium. The Empyrean, the ether, the sea of souls, or warp space. Alright. Law, Xenos. It represents knowledge of alien species known to the Imperium. Okay. Can also use to disable traps of Xeno origin. Logic. Makes a character's rational arguments more convincing and allows to notice any logical inconsistencies in other people's words. Also, it helps to operate cogitators more efficiently, make it up. Alright. Medicate, we saw this one, right? Injuries and stuff. Tech use represents a character's ability to use or repair complex mechanical items. High-tech use value enables a character to even be able to fathom the workings of unknown technical artifacts. It can be used to open doors or containers and hack. So let me see something. Alright, cool. Intelligence. Perception, did we? Yeah, we did. Willpower. Look, mentions warp. So if you want to have a high law and all that, you need to have wisdom, right? Willpower affects a character's ability to withstand the horrors of warp, the terror of space, and dreadful opponents they are bound to encounter in the Coronus expanse. High willpower allows characters to exert control over a crowd or interrogate a heretic. It also increases the chance of resisting negative mental effects and psychic powers. Psychic powers are special abilities available only to psychers. They allow psychers to reach into the warp and use it in various ways. Just like normal abilities, they are used in combat, can be taken when leveling up instead of archetype abilities, and some of them can be considered attacks. The main difference from normal abilities is that they can only be taken by a psyker, are separated into unique disciplines, and using them will degrade the veil degradation. When psychers reach deeper into the warp to power their abilities, there is always a chance of the Ethereum bleeding into our reality, unleashing its destructive influence. Use of psychic powers in battle by both allies and foes tears out the veil between the materium and the materium, between reality and the nightmarish realms beyond which the veil holds. Using psychic powers presents little danger, and their use merely triggers psychic phenomena. Each time a psychic uses psychic power, the veil blah. Are more disconcerting than dangerous, intruding into the thoughts of people around the psycho, causing omens and visions. Psychic phenomena reduce the momentum of the party. Oh shit, distracting them from combat, lowering their morale, or just causing bad luck. That's not good, is it? Psychers can be sanctioned or unsanctioned. Chances that sanctioned psyker will cause psychic phenomena are halved, while Unsanctioned cycles instead have increased chances and +1 to their Siren. Each level of Siren gives the Psyker access to new psychic powers. It also intensifies damaging psychic powers. Right. Sanctioned and unsanctioned. Unsanctioned cycles have increased chance and +1. So you've got more chance of causing a problem for the whole team just for +1 bonus. Anyway, but should using Psychic is little danger and the use merely triggers this phenomenon, but should Veil Degradation reach 15, the chance to cause phenomena double and perils of the warp may occur. What the hell? I need to have a drink. So much not even got to start it yet. Alright, let's see this. Perils of the warp. This dangerous phenomenon may occur when Veil Degradation. The chance of this happening is 10 plus Psi rating plus Veil Degradation percent. Perils of the warp are dangerous to anyone in the vicinity of the Psyker. Their manifestation can push away characters. Pushes and collisions. Some abilities, for example, are warriors, forceful strike, and weapons, for example, thunder hammers, can push target away. The target will be pushed in a direct line away. Should the push target collide with an obstacle or another creature, both the target that was pushed away and the target they collide with will take damage. If they can take damage at all, the damage is equal to 2 times the distance the target should have traveled, regardless of how much the target actually traveled during the push. This damage ignores armor but can be reduced by other means, for example with deflection, property of heavy armor. In addition to the armor and dodge penalty, heavy armor also has a unique per armor deflection, which reduces damage received by the specified value. Heavy armor protects well from damage but makes it more difficult to dodge attacks than light and medium armor. Only characters with heavy armor proficiency talent can wear it. Deflection. Alright. Look, warrior. It's a warrior. Should have a quick look. I'll come back to it. Siren. It's pretty tough then, isn't it? Will trigger psychic or even perils of the war. Willpower. And then fellowship. Represents a character's ability to interact with other creatures to deceive, charm, or befriend. High fellowship will help a character find a way to approach a gathering of unsociable servants or whatever. It also affects persuasion. The skill is affected by fellowship, coercion, by threats, commerce, business, and ability to make profitable bargains. Maybe commerce is the one to pick instead of even persuasion and coercion. Just go with commerce. I don't know. What was the other thing it said about? It was talking about a warrior somewhere. Or we can read it from somewhere else. Deflection. Parry. Yeah. Anyway, so I think we did all that one. What's this? Damage. Damage, full cover, yeah, we did that one. What's this? Skill test. Did it. Damage received, injuries. Space combat. Calculating damage, shields. So where are we going to find out about archetypes? That was interesting. So anyway, what difficulty is on unfair? Choosing this difficulty is not. So let me just find something. Let's see. So what is that thing it was mentioning? What's it? Willpower. Then I looked into this one. Tales of the Warp. Veil degradation. Push. Look, warrior. Archetype warrior. So anyway, you can't see. I thought maybe I can look at other archetypes, you know, but it's gonna tell us anyway in the next screen. So anyway, unfair. Choosing is not recommended. Trader, what? For players not familiar already with World Trader's system as well as its implementation in this game. Do you confirm your choice? Yep. Thanks. So let's see. Actually, I'll just be back. So obviously gonna make a custom character. In a few moments. time is it? 5 o'clock. Alright, it's good. So what's happening? Let's see. I can see now. Rogue's now started. It's back on. Let's have a look. Unfair Iron Man? No. Just unfair. It's already deep into the game, it seems. I don't know. Oh, good. Alright, cool. It's nice to see. Rogue's back on thingamajiggy, back online, you know. Otherwise, how are we gonna know how to play the game if Rogue's not gonna show us? Did you think of that? Where is this thingamajiggy? I forgot, man. Nice to see. So cool. Alright, cool, man. Now we'll know what to do. Rogue's on. Know what to pick. I was gonna pick Darius as my main. It's good to learn, so you gotta pick custom, right, and just look at all the stuff, right? Create a new character. So let's do that then. Okay, you can pick whatever you want. Import your own import your own character or whatever, or your own portrait. Create a new portrait. Preset or select a portrait you created earlier. See? You can do it. So we do it. Don't got one. Look, what about this? Outfit settings. Clothes not yet available. Alright. Show clothes off. On. Let's go to color scheme. What's the difference? Alright. So, look. Appearance is the last thing that I'll do. I want to look through all the all these options. So anyway, there's quite a few to pick, I guess. Guy's got one eye. Appearance. Hey, look. What does it, let's just move on for now. So, what's it saying? Death World. Survival instinct. Once per combat, when wounds of Death World character drop below this, they gain plus 20% of their max wounds as temporary wounds. Death World characters can also gain a bonus to dodge and armor while they have at least one temporary wound from any source. Alright, that's interesting. And so what about talents? Brutal Hunter, gain 15% crit chance against targets with the bleeding effect. No thank you. Or with 50% or less of their max wounds. trusty weapons. Gain 10% chance to crits with axe, hammer, and lass weapons. Lifetime of scars. Death world characters take tough bonus and less damage from flame, toxic, and bleed. Wounded beast. Every injury increases the character's agility and willpower by 5. Each trauma counts as 3 injuries. Once per combat, when a death world character is suffering from stun, blind, or immobilized, this condition is ignored and they instead gain plus 20% temporary wounds to their maximum wounds. Doesn't sound alright. What's this? Strength plus 5, agility, fellowship, toughness, right? Okay, no problem. Let's see. Voidborn, fortune. A void character can re-roll any failed attack, dodge, parry, characteristic, or skill test with 20% chance of success. This chance cannot be greater than the base success chance of the roll. Any enemy dodge or parry against Voidborn has 20% chance to fail. It's like luck, right? Strength minus 5. And let's see, bloody mess. Anytime a character scores a crit, there's a 10% chance to double the damage. Flesh wound, 20% chance to survive after suffering lethal damage. Surviving with 1 wound. Be smart. Anytime a ability or talent uses the fellowship bonus, Voidborn can use intelligence if it's higher. Right. Can always upgrade intelligence even if they're okay. Archetype don't allow it. Look, using non-damage ability on an ally grants that ally the ability to reroll any failed attack. Alright, dodge, parry, blah blah blah, with 20% chance for successful 1 round. This chance cannot be greater than the base success chance of the roll. Using a non-damaging ability on an enemy grants them 20% chance to fail a successful dodge or parry test against any character for 1 round. Jinx has more than 50% wounds. All chances of all creatures, including enemies in 3 cell, are increased by 10. All chances of all creatures in a 3 cell are increased by 10. Chances of what? While a Voidborn less than all chances are alright. Chances to hit and chances to what? Miss? I don't know. It don't sound too tough to me. Funny one. Gonna have to already. It's already finished. I'll make a new drink and everything. Look, that's not gonna do. So anyway, I'm gonna have to make a new drink. Anyway, let's see what Hive World is about. Strength in numbers. Hive World characters gain +1 fellowship. Result. Let me expand it and then it's easier to. Fellowship bonus. Oh, that's fine. Resolve. Influences how efficiently and long. Okay. If there are 3 or more creatures in a 3 cell radius, yet they suffer -2. I don't know even if you want to be that close to each other in this Most of the time, if you're close to each other, you just get blown up. You know why? So you don't want to be in a 3-cell radius, is what I'm guessing, but I might be wrong. Camaraderie can pass willpower resistance using fellowship instead of willpower. They also, right, high will characters can pass willpower resistance. But you still got in it. Let's see, weapon personalization. All ranged weapons dealing physical damage of +1 damage, +5 armor pen, +1 rate of fire, and -5 to recoil. When shooting in burst, the hit chance of all shots after the first shot is reduced by the recoil parameter of the weapon, right? And fine. All range weapons dealing physical damage is usually dealt by projectile or melee impact. Anything capable of inflicting blunt force trauma like blunt weapons, unarmed strikes, bolts and explosives, rending. Anything sharp like blade weapons and sharp projectiles like shuriken, piercing. Any piercing projectile like bullet or needle. Power, any power weapons. Rend. Right, so that's weapon personalization. Okay. Helping hand. Starts the turn adjacent to an ally. That character gains 2 MP movement points. Determine how far a character can move. 1 MP corresponds to 1 cell. Moving diagonally is more costly. Every second diagonal cell uses 2. At the beginning of each turn, movement points are restored to the max. Note that once the character starts moving, this action can no longer be cancelled. Alright. So that's only if you're standing next to whatever, right? Fresh start. High vol characters gain 50% bonus to dodge against the first attack of opportunity. Any character wielding melee weapon creates a threatened area around them. This area includes all cells the character can reach with a weapon. Actions of an enemy within the threatened area or one who attempts to leave it may provoke an attack with this melee weapon. Such attacks are called attack of opportunity. 50% chance bonus to dodge. Right. And that's Hive World. Strength in numbers, resolve, whatever. Can you change these or not? Alright, so yeah, try and we'll see. So they get intelligence. Look, fellowship is down. I don't want fellowship down. You don't really want willpower down either, do you? Strength, you don't want strength down either. Look, fellowship and intelligence down. Forge World, look, fellowship, did I look at this pinnacle of weaponry? Can you believe it? They need to make a new drink already. It's crazy, man. Pinnacle of weaponry. It's talking about certain weapons damage equal to intelligence bonus. Alright. Steel of the Forge. While wearing heavy armor, Forge world characters gain 1 movement point plus 1 deflection. The amount of damage deducted whenever. Okay, still. Calculated relations. Forge world characters can use persuasion, coercion, and commerce based on intelligence instead of nice. Instead of, so look, but instead of fellowship's gone down, so they can use intelligence. And then if you got intelligence, remember you can use warp, and warp is based on doing something about warp is to do with isn't it to do with you know, space magic. I don't know, we'll find out. Could be. Which one was that? While wearing heavy armor, forge world characters and cannot fall prone. That's pretty sick. Cannot act and suffer -30 penalty to parry and dodge, but you cannot fall prone. Steel of the forge while wearing heavy armor, so they'll never be able to knock you down. That's pretty good. Calculated. That's what we were looking at before. Can use persuasion, coercion, and commerce based on intelligence instead of fellowship. That's pretty good. Fires of the Forge. Forge world characters gain tough bonus deflection against the burning effect and flame on. Forge world characters gain a stacking +10 bonus to hit, chance, and dodge reduction against any target they hit with a single target attack. Successful critical hits from single target attacks increase the hit chance and dodge reduction by +20. So to hit chance, any target they hit with a single. So does that mean melee and ranged? I hope so. So that one's pretty good. I think you use intelligence instead of fellowship. Imperial humanity's finest. Imperial world characters can select any characteristic and add +10 bonus except for weapon, skill, or ballistic. +10 bonus. This ready to serve while is affected by an ally's non-damaging ability or affects an ally with such an ability, their resolve is increased by fellowship bonus divided by 2 for 1 round. Their resolve is increased. Resolve. How efficiently you can fight. Okay. Fellowship bonus. Alright, so that was 1 round. Doing my part. If no other character is in the current party, if no other character in the current party has the same archetype as this character, the first use of any abilities from this archetype is -1. That's could be good, but who knows, man? I don't know. Depending, okay, fine, cycle or whatever, right? Just make sure you have 1 in the party, current party. Okay, it's not that hard to do, I don't think, doing that part. -1 is pretty big. And probably at the beginning, that's definitely going to be a thing, isn't it? Stronger together. All allies, including Xenos, in the current party gain +5 to the same characteristic as was chosen for humanity's finest. So in that case, I would pick perception. Stronger together. Excluding Xeno. So that means you can get a Xeno ally. +5 to the same characteristic. Yeah, okay. Stronger together and better to die for the Emperor. While under 40% wounds, characters gain 10 bonus to all characteristics and +2 to resolve. Alright, while under 40% wounds, right? No heresy. Imperial world character gain 10 crit chance and 10 armor against Xeno or demonic creature. Their allies gain half the bonus of no heresy. However, Imperial world characters, Law Xenos and Law Warp are always 0. Imperial world characters gain +10 crit hit chance and +10 armor against these two types. Their allies gain half, 5%, okay. However, Imperial world characters, Law, Xeno, and Law Warp are always 0. Alright, I don't know what the meaning, but this one seems pretty good overall. What did you pick? I picked perception. This one was so you can pick up to 10 + 10, right? Yeah, it's already done for you, but you can only pick one. Select any characteristic except for the weapon based things and add +10. This one's probably the best one because you don't have to do what they're telling you right now. This one is telling you and then it's just giving you a few things that Death will take tough bonus less from flame, but how much flame? Maybe there's a lot of flame, maybe there isn't. It could be good, but I don't know. And then what's this? Each injury increases the death character's agility and willpower. So okay. So you want to have loads of injuries, so you have, and then it's boosting your stats. Once per combat, when a deathful character is suffered from stun, blind, and the game, this condition is ignored and they gain 20% temporary wounds, and the wounds are gonna give you more agility or willpower +5. It's gonna give you like, okay, whatever. Oh, but look at it. Okay, trusty one, right, but then it just depends, don't it, on a lot of stuff. So if this one was pretty, can't really go wrong with that one. Fortress World, never stop shooting. Each time a Fortress World character kills an enemy, they gain 10 stacks of never stop shooting. At the start of their turn, there is a stacks of never stop shooting percent chance that the first attack this round will cost 0 AP and will not count toward the attack limit per round. If this effect triggers, all the stacks are lost. Stacks of never stop shooting percent chance. Right. So you could get a free attack with a ranged. Okay, perception up, willpower up, fellowship down, Combat Addict. Fortress gain +7 to ballistic, perception and willpower while in combat, yet while out there intelligence, fellowship, perception and willpower decreased by -7. -7 and +7, is it a big deal? Not really, I doubt it. Familiar kickback at the end of their turn. Characters gain stacks of never stop shooting equal to half the minimal damage of the most damaging range weapon they used this round. Never stop believing. When all stacks of never stop shooting should be lost, they become willpower divided by 2. Additionally, Fortress Will character may upgrade their willpower even if their archetype does not allow it. Willpower. Hail Steel. Each round, Fortress World character gain a stack % bonus to dodge against range attacks for each shot they made during the round. Also, the burst attack grants +10 of never stop shooting. Spare magazine. Fortress World characters first reload in the combat cost is 0. Reloading a weapon grants stacks of never stop shooting. Right. Okay. So this one seems to be pretty good. Don't have to think about it. So you can go with strength, toughness, agility, intelligence. I just think perception's the best. Let me see, what else did it say about this anyway? Look. When an Imperial World character is affected by an ally's non-damaging abilities or affected with such an ability, their resolve is increased by fellowship bonus for 1 round. Fellowship represents a character's ability to interact with other creatures. High fellowship will help a character to approach. Also affects persuasion, course, and commerce. What was that thing about commerce? Remember, that's the thing I want to just check about. Ready to serve. Fellowship bonus. Doing my part. If you're the only one, -1. Stronger together. That's why I'm looking at perception right now. Because then all allies can gain +5 to the same thing, perception. And then what's this? While under 5% wounds, characters gain bonus to all characteristics and gain resolve. No heresy. Imperial War characters gain critical chance and armor against whatever, that's nothing. But it's not the one with the trade. There was something about a trade one which was pretty good, I think. This one. Forgeable characters can use persuasion, coercion, and commerce based on intelligence. So what's good about intelligence anyway? Right, intelligence. So maybe you'll just come back and pick the correct one, right? I think between Forge and Imperial. That's why. Fellowship is down, but you're gonna use intelligence instead of fellowship. Toughness is good. Yeah, well, yeah. I still think this is the best one actually, overall, because you can always, if I want, this one is really good for calculated relation is good for protagonist, right? That's if you're intelligence, you can use it to fix things and stuff, right? So it's all pooled into one thing, intelligence. You don't need to have, what was the other thing anyway? Where do you see the instead of having fellowship? Fellowship's only good for what? It's not as good as intelligence. And tech use skills. This doesn't have anything about. It says commerce skills, but technical is always going to be better than. Technical skills are always going to be better. So that's why I like this calculated relations. And what else does it do? What's this? The first attack with plasma, melter, or power weapons deals additional damage equal to intelligence. Steel of the Forge. While wearing heavy armor, Forge world characters gain this and this and cannot fall. I like that as well. Steel of the Forge. And then yeah, I might pick this one. Fire of the Forge. Tough bonus deflection against burning. Alright. And what's this? Stacks to hit and dodge reduction. Maybe. The only downside is that one. Toughness and intelligence. Good actually. This one. They're both good. Any kind. Maybe you want to double up though. Maybe you might want two of the same archetype. I think the other one is better. While that's if you play super well, then it's gonna be will help. I think this one is the best one actually. Well. 10 intelligence bonus, critical hit chance, agility bonus, movement point, dodge, something armor, toughness bonus, hardware characters gain. I'll pick the right one. Even they gain agility bonus divided by 2 movement points and 2 times agility bonus for dodge. Sounds good, right? Dodge reduction, affects demolition. I might even change it up because I don't even know what I'm just looking at it, and then I'll just decide. For this one, toughness bonus, shrug off injuries, resistance, it increases the chance of resisting. It also affects this skill, which is to resist negative effects applied by some poisons, may give access to new dialogue. Okay, might be good, might not, who knows, right? 10 intelligence crit hit, you can never go wrong with, can't go wrong with that, can you? And what's the other one? The humans, let me see this one. I said I would go with Deception. I think it's pretty good as well. It's hard to know. But I think you have to play well to get anything from this. While under 40% wounds, Imperial World character gain plus 10 bonus to all characteristics and plus 2 to resolve. And then as soon as you get the wound, it's gonna suddenly disappear, and then you'll be in a worse spot, isn't it? Imperial characters gain plus 10 crit against Xenos, right? Plus 5, right? Perception would go doing my part. If I'm the only one, -1. Intelligence. I like this one. It's giving you good stuff already, innit? Let me just start with this one. Then you don't have to worry about picking things about getting knocked down. So I'm gonna go with Forge World, right? And then for this one, might as well just hit chance. Look, critical hit chance. Just take it. Right, and now we'll see, have a look. Maybe I'm gonna make a drink, you know. Otherwise, not gonna survive. But what should I make? That's another question. Yeah, I'll just get something quick to drink. Alright, 5 minutes. Just gonna get something. Maybe a tall glass of milk. I don't even know. Can't drink coffee all the time. What's going on? Not bad. Anyway, so what we're doing, let's look at this stuffs. Let's have a look, see? Let's have a look, see? And let's see what the commander's about. Let's have a look, see? In regimental tactics, all the allies deal additional plus, look, perception bonus damage to enemies that are adjacent to the commander or their allies until the end of the commander's next turn. All of the commander's allies also take no damage from other allies' attacks. That could be interesting, right? Just blow each other up by it can only be used once per combat, once per combat, adjacent to the commander or their allies. Deal additional damage to enemies that are adjacent to the commander or their allies until the end of the commander's next turn. Alright. Can only use it once. Ballistic skill, ranged weapons, perception, again good. Athletics, it's affected by strength, medicate, that one's good too. Perception, yep. Alright, suppression fire, ranged, under regimental tactics, which is this. Just bonuses to that, right? What's this? Commander's under the tactics again. So whatever. This one. This stacks with tactics. Adjacent to any ally, the bonus. The commander deals an additional perception-based damage to all enemies. So we just looked at field of fire, but this tactics you only use it once. All the allies, so use it at the beginning, I guess. All enemies gain rate of fire, unflinching heroism. Every time the commander allies use a heroic attack, the commander gains +5 to all of the characteristics. Alright. Okay. Okay, let's see the next one. What's this? Officers. Inspire their comrades and grant them additional opportunities to impact the course of battle. The officer keystone ability, voice a command, increase an ally's characteristics by whatever fellowship bonus for 1 round. But instead of fellowship we're using intelligence, right? I think so. Alright, persuasion, coercion and commerce is based on intelligence instead of fellowship. Doesn't mean you, so what? Fellowship Right, so yeah, basically you don't need it if you're going the route that if you're going picking what I just picked. My stomach's empty now. Weapon skill affects the characters in all form of close combat. Right. Alright, fellowship. Don't need it. Coercion. Don't need it. Do I? Well, you can have coercion, but it's based on intelligence, not fellowship. Athletics. What is athletics? Strength. Fellowship. Don't need it. Coercion. Duty and honor. While the ally, while the commissar's ally is under the effect of at all costs, the ally suffers more damage but gains 2 AP and 4 instead of 1 and 3 at all costs. Can be used once. The commie's next shot, single shot or single target melee, applies the following. Enemy target. The target becomes marked. The ally who kills the marked enemy gains an additional turn after the current one with +2 and +4 respectively. Allied target. All allies gain +1. Okay. Anytime commissioner grants movement points, they gain +2. When momentum is less than 100 points, killing the marked enemy or targeting an ally grants fellowship bonuses for momentum. While the commissioner is adjacent to an enemy, all the allies gain whatever summary of execution. If the commissioner kills, I'm just gonna say commissioner. Alright. If the commissioner kills the target without all costs, they can use at all costs once more this combat. That's pretty good. But who are you killing? The boss? Are you gonna use it to kill ads, or are you gonna use it to kill the boss? A single shot or a single strike, and it can do basically it's like, alright, whatever, man. So that's that one. Crime Lord. Let's see. Surefire plan. At the start of combat, the Crime Lord gains intelligence bonus stacks of the Surefire plan effect. Activation of this ability consumes 1 stack and makes the next action stronger depending on the type of action. If the Crime Lord attacks, they deal 10 plus perception bonus more. If the Crime Lord moves, they gain... Oh yeah? Something about an officer I need to look into. If the Crime Lord moves, they gain perception bonus, dodge and parry. If the Crime Lord uses a non-damaging ability on an enemy, that enemy suffers intelligence. Right, can be used multiple times. That's pretty good. Weapon skill, you can't go wrong with that. Perception, can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. Perception, awareness. This is a good one. Killing plan. The bonus damage of Surefire plan is increased by Wisdom, weapon skill, killing at least one enemy with an attack restores one stack of the surefire plan. Alright, pretty good. Disorienting plan, an enemy affected by surefire plan suffers. Alright, they get disoriented, whatever, small debuff. With the last plan, once per combat, if the crime lord has at least one stack, they do not die from lethal damage. Instead, they heal 5 times whatever stacks percent of maximum. Lose all stack and can no longer. Alright, it's where you lose the ability to do a surefire plan if you were to take lethal damage, basically. Escape plan. The bonus to dodge and parry from surefire plan are increased by agility bonus. Dodging or parrying at least one attack at the start of the next round restores one. Okay, dodging or parrying. Contingency. If at the start of the turn the crime lord has no stack, they gain a stack. Alright, that one's okay as well, pretty cool. How do you gain more? The crime lord gains plus intelligence bonus stacks of the surefire plan. So you want to be ranged, because you don't want to waste it on moving. If the crime lord attacks, well, it just says attacks, they deal plus 10 more damage. If they move, they're gonna gain defense or debuff an enemy. Minus 10 plus intelligence bonus divided by penalty to damage. Alright. So let's see the priest. War him. Grants momentum equal to the willpower. Alright. Tough is good, willpower good, law, intelligence. Just give me intelligence instead of this. Anyway, skills, right? Medicine, willpower, law, intelligence, litany of purification. All enemies in the area effect of war. Hymn of Furious recital, gain a stack of the disturbed. All enemies gain disturbed. Each stack grants minus 10 penalty to any willpower or fellowship test. The effect will be removed at the end of combat if gained outside combat. Enemies that are adjacent to the devotee gain plus 2 stacks of disturb. All demon in the area of effect suffer damage equal to momentum. This is not the protagonist. Shield of Faith. This is Shadow Heart. The devotee gains willpower bonus to armor against attacks of demons, but it's too specific. Cleansing Faith, melee, flame and melter attacks against demons and psychers deal, yeah, but what about everyone else? Emperor protects, nah man. Navy officer, brace for impact. For 1 round, the officer and their allies in 3 cell radius gain deflection for each archetype taken by the Navy officer. So you can take multiple archetypes. Archetypes and characters roll. For 1 round, the officer and the allies gain +2 deflection for each archetype taken by the officer. Okay. So you use it at the beginning of combat, I guess. Otherwise, when are you gonna use it? So what you gain? Agility, fellowship, not using it, commerce, demolition, agility, demolition, do not falter. All allies affected by brace for impact. What's this brace for impact? Oh, this one here. Oh. Do not suffer the negative effect of melee superiority for the entire combat. What's that? In melee combat, any target surrounded by more allies than enemies receives a +10 weapon skill bonus for each additional ally. Larger creatures need to be surrounded by more than 2 enemies to provide this advantage to the attacker. Right. So okay, if you're outnumbered, if there's more enemies around you, they shouldn't get superiority against you. Any target surrounded by more allies than enemies. Any target surrounded by more allies than enemies receives +10 weapon skill bonus for each additional ally. Any target surrounded by more allies than enemies receives +10 weapon skill bonus for each ally. Alright. Okay. It's fine. Alright. Do not falter. Perfect timing. All allies gain +30 to cover penetration. Character hiding behind. Alright. The officer also gains +15% to cover penetration. Alright. Get into cover. All allies affected by brace for impact gain an extra turn with 0 AP and 3 MP and increase their cover efficiency for 1 round. Sky. All allies affected by this suffer only half damage from attack of opportunity. Alright, get off. Allows the officer to use any ranged weapon in threatened areas, knocks enemies prone, pushes them. I think it means if you can shoot when somebody's standing right next to you. To use any ranged weapon in threatened areas probably without any negative effect. Something like that. Doesn't explain it too well. So anyway, there's that one. Noble. Let's see, you serve. The noble assigns 1 ally who will become the servant. I think this is what I saw. Gold Carnage was using this one, but also he's respect a lot, so might have changed it. But I think this is what he was picking. Also, he's following a guide. But me, I'm just gonna do my own thing. See if I can, use my brain to come up with something that might work. It's just about surviving, right? So anyway, anytime the noble's abilities affect the servant gains +5 to all characteristics until the start of the noble's next turn. Anytime the servant attacks a target that the noble dealt damage to, the servant gains fellowship bonus, which is based off intelligence or something, right? Critical hit chance. Maybe I don't think it. No, that's why I picked that. I shouldn't. Fellowship is now going to be, you know, influenced by intelligence, so whatever, right? Maybe it's good. Intelligence, look, fellowship, which is this now. Coercion. I think these aren't useful because, well, I don't know, man. It's all intelligence if you picked what I picked, so I don't need any of this. Fellowship again, look, persuade, you don't need that. You do something, if a noble uses an ability on the servant gains now, man, +1. Go on, the noble servant gains +2 movement every turn, whatever. It's too like passive kind of thing. If the servant has less than 30% wounds, the noble can use you serve one more time, designating a new servant and removing the effect from the previous one. Alright, so you can't have two. The noble cannot designate a character who was already the servant before. Protect. If the noble and the servant are next to each other at the start of the noble's turn, they gain temporary Nama. Not thinking about being next to each other for long. If the servant kills the target that the noble dealt damage to, only +1 armor point. No, that one's not strong, man. So far it's this one or Crime Lord. Killing plan. And you can stay alive a little bit. This one is just a little debuff. What was this? They gain it if you don't got it. Escape plan. A little bit of dodge. Awareness. Who can go wrong with awareness? You know what I mean? Perception. These are really good. And then weapon skill. Who doesn't want weapon skill? Perception is also good. Logic is good. This one is like pretty good, I reckon. Crime Lord. But maybe, let's see this. The thing is, magic users, like, it might be rare. So if you don't pick this class, maybe, I mean, if you don't level it up early, then you're gonna have to find a companion, and then the companion will have to be in the group as well as your protagonist. So that's the thing. This one is the rare one. This origin. Is it an origin? Yeah. This origin, it's not some, I don't think it's that common. Look. Sanctioned. Have reduced chance to, yeah, that one is good. This one, it doesn't seem to be that good. The character is a psycho, we are weak one. What? Oh, this sanctioned and unsanctioned, wasn't it? Anyway, it's saying sanctioned, so remember it said unsanctioned earlier. I thought you can pick between sanctioned and unsanctioned, but apparently you can't. Oh. Sure, it mentioned something about unsanctioned who has a chance to like stronger attacks but more potential to have a problem with the phenomena, right? So anyway, let me see what happened. Alright, so anyway, it's sanctioned. Toughness is good, willpower is good, law, warp, that one is good. This one, the toughness as well, I remember that is good. Divination. Divination specializes in gleaning information and using it to turn fortune in your favor. Diviners find useful insight. Alright, sounds like telepath. Psychers whose mental expertise lies in doesn't say anything. Sanctic powers, biomancy, heal wounds and alter characteristics. Interesting. Pyro, master of flame. Pyro is one of the most spectacular and destructive forms of psychic ability. Alright, interesting. And then look, Siren going, it goes up and up. Still mind. The psychic resolve is increased by willpower bonus, while Vel degradation is 10 or lower. Sacred ritual. Psychic powers have a chance to regain AP spent on psychic powers while degradation is 10 or less. Enforce. Using a heroic act by the psychic decreases Veil degradation based on your intelligence. Second sight. Perception. Have a range of the powers +2. That means diagonal or 2 straight or whatever. Perception. Soul manipulation. The psychic can use a damaging power while being threatened by enemies in melee without provoking attack of opportunity. That's good. Well, what did it say? Non-damaging powers do not provoke attack of opportunity even without. Okay. Siren inscribed. Gains inscribed. It costs no AP, but direct damage to the psychic equal 25% of maximum wound. Alright. Blade. For force weapon attack deals more damage and okay, interesting. Force weapon, we'll have to remember about that. Blade. Psychic barrage. Whenever the psychic power targets that 6 cells or farther, they suffer additional ballistic skill. Reflects a character's accuracy with all forms of ranged weapon. High ballistic skill indicates that a character is Deadeye, so I need to get that if I'm going to pick this ballistic skill. And what was the other thing? Stabilizing the pieces welding. Alright, no problem. While psych is not in the target's lines out there. This one doesn't seem much to do with the team, but for an origin you can always start with this, I think, and then move into being an officer. You can just try it. This is the most what about this? What's going on? Biomancer. Specialize in flesh. Let's see. Heal wounds and alter characteristic iron on. Target gains strength and toughness. Abilities enfeeble. Until the end of combat, all targets within the area suffer penalty to strength, agility, and siren increased to all incoming. Based on what? Siren gives the psychic access to new psychic powers. Enfeeble, okay. Metabolic overcharge. The target ally immediately gains an extra turn with twice the number of normal MP and Siren AP, but the organism is subject to severe stress, making them suffer 5% of their max wounds. Alright, probably. Some people benefit from getting wounded down. Warp speed. Until the end of combat, the target ally increased their MP by 3 cycling rise. Invigorate. Restore wounds to the target, but I don't want to be a heal. Regen. Until the end, target recovers wounds at the beginning of each turn and remove 1 toxin, stun, bleed. Seems like this is what it's saying. It's basically a healer. But you know, what's this? All psychic powers of Baron cost less. Sanguine Siphon. Each time the Psyker deals damage, they gain a stack of Siphon. If that damage was dealt to a target adjacent to the Psyker, they gain +2 instead. When the Psyker suffers lethal, the stack of Sanguine is removed to reduce the damage by -1 for each stack until all stack are removed and no damage. When an enemy adjacent to an ally dies, the ally gains a conversion effect. If multiple allies are adjacent to the enemy, one is selected at random. The Psyker's next power that targets only the target with the conversion will work as if the psi rating is +2 higher. Will not damage the veil, will not trigger phenomenal. Right. So you have to kill and then do it, is what it's saying. It's long, man. Strange vitality. When the Psyker or the Psyker themselves are under effect of powers, they gain toughness. All the attacks, including damaging ones, now poison. Alright. When the Psyker is healed or heals, if that character being healed is already at full wounds, that character instead gains temporary wounds. Alright. Pulse. The critical heal chance is increased. Deterioration, what's it there, man? Come on. Whenever the Psyche increases the damage suffered by target, this effect is increased by half. For example, 20% increase turns into a 30%. Whenever an effect applied by the Psyche increases the damage suffered. Oh, fuck yeah. Alright. This one don't seem all that. Not that impressed. Let's see this pyro. Ignite. The target suffers from siren, gains the warp burn. Damage to the target at the end of the turn with this armor penetration. Must pass an agility test. Firestorm. Psychic power only impacts creatures suffering from warp, burn, or burn. Everyone adjacent to the target suffers the effects of ignite. You gotta jump right in there, don't you? Beam. Deal double the damage of ignite to all creatures in 12 cell line. Yeah, are they ever gonna stand in the line? Maybe. The incinerate. The target suffer double the damage. The ignite psychic power and half damage. Incinerate. Flames. The target does not stop burning and no longer makes test to stop. If the target is an ally, every melee then while they themselves not only suffer half burn damage, right? Inflame. Until the end of combat, all burning conditions will deal +2 more damage and backdraft. Random enemy within 2 cells or from the initial time. Flameless Blade. When the Psyker is burning, the Psyker rating is increased by 1 and resolve is increased. Damage from fire no longer reduces the momentum. Every time the Psychic kills or scores a critical hit against 8 creatures in one combat, sparks of the Great Flame all damage over time. Melting armor. Every time an enemy suffers damage from Psycho, the enemy's armor is reduced by 3%. If it's already 0, then the enemy's deflection is reduced. Burning blood. When the Psycho uses power, all enemy adjacent to the Psycho suffer damage. The same also happens when the Psycho suffers damage from this or this body of flames. Gains +8 additional armor against fire damage and hard armor. Sanctic. Sanctic are used by paths to protect and smite. Word of the Emperor. All allies in a circle with a 5-cell radius gain a rating. Every additional right. Herds deals direct damage. This damage is increased by this much against them. This one, this. The damage goes on. This power does not affect targets that lack souls, so it's useless against machines. Hammer of the Emperor. All allies affected by the word gain hammer effect. Next time they deal damage, this damage is increased by psi rating. An ally. See, you need to start these lot early, otherwise it's gonna be crap. The psychic power can only be used while there's at least one ally affected. Sword. Psychic power costs 50 momentum until the end of combat. The weapon in the Psychic's hand is replaced by a sword made of sheer will. The sword has a single target attack and area attack like two-handed. Can be used to release a cone of fire. The damage of the sword is the same as that of Purge Soul. Same bonuses. If the Psycho used a force weapon, all the bonus from the force remain for the purpose of talents on a force weapon. Resolve. Right, maybe it's alright. So it's a force weapon. Light of the Emperor. All allies affected by word are healed. Shield. Till the start of the next turn, all allies affected by the word gain deflection. Alright. The armor increases by +5. This bonus increases start return. This bonus increases at the start of every turn of combat except the first. So you get more and more. Eternal Glory. The first time momentum reached 200 during the Psych's turn, gets +5. Right, so you want to get that one. Psalms is increased by +1 until the end of combat. Every time an ally uses heroic. Look, the Psycho's rating is increased by 1. So you need to get the thingamajiggy. Anyway, Edge of Dawn. Enemy adjacent to the Psycho suffer more damage. Hymns. Hatred. Critical hits scored by anyone within Psycho's line of sight, including the Psycho, increase the Psycho's crit damage by 1% until the end of combat. Critical hits. Sanctified Slayer. The Psycho's critical hit chances increased by resolve %. Okay, interesting. Telepath. Shriek costs 2 AP. One creature within 12 cell deals damage to the target. Spends all movement points. Can no longer use attacking abilities on current turn if you use this. So maybe you want to use it at the end. Just deals damage to the target. Dominate. The target must pass willpower resistance test with a psi penalty, or at their next turn they will spend all their movement points to move as close as possible towards the Psyker. They can act as normal, but all their movement points are spent on moving toward the Psyker. At the end of their turn, the target must make the willpower resistance test, otherwise they remain. So it's like they're always going to be next to you, right? So that would be good against the Titan. Dominate. How does it work? The target must pass the willpower. How close? How do you do it? How far would this work from? In a sensory, the target makes willpower resistance test. If it succeeds, the target is blinded. Suffers okay, debuff until the start of next. If the target fails, they become blinded and suffer. Okay, that's pretty good. Mind rupture. The target makes willpower resistance. If fails, immediately attacks its allies. After the target suffers damage from Shriek. Is it? Sounds pretty good if it actually works. That sounds pretty good. Psychic assault. The Shriek Psychic deals psychic damage to everyone within 7 cell cone in front. Forces them to make a test. All of them that fail are stunned until the Psyker's next turn, right? Mind Bond. At the end of the combat, the target of Mind Bond makes perception, intelligence, willpower, fellowship test using either theirs or the Psyker's stats, whichever is higher at the moment. What? I don't even tell you what Mind Bond does. At the end, at any time until the end of combat, the target of Mind Bond makes this, or this tests using either theirs or the Psyker's stats, whichever is higher at the moment. What? Mind rupture. The target makes target right, so every time the Psyker deals mental damage from any source other than aftershock, the target suffers half as much mental damage at the end of its next turn. Every time the Psyker deals mental damage from any other source other than aftershock, the target. Mind Siege. Enemies that have failed a willpower resistance test against any of the psychic powers will suffer mental damage. It's like damage over time, everything. When the psychic kills an enemy with power, dealing more damage than wounds on the... okay. Warp Mind. Every 6th use of power by the psychic, all enemies gain a stat -5 penalty to characteristics. After every 6th use. So you're not going to use weapons then, you're just going to use power so that you can quickly get that. Or what? Mental Breach. Enemies that have taken damage from Psycho at least once, suffer -20 penalty to resistance test against the Psycho. Mind Thief, or anytime an enemy becomes a target of ability for the first time, they suffer penalty to their intelligence and perception, and the Psycho's intelligence will increase by +2. Alright. Visions of Doom. Enemies that become target of the Psycho gain penalty to their dodge and parry until the end. Just -5. Weaken heart. Enemies currently inflicted by blind, stun, Probably this one is the best one then. Not this. This one, what was it? I don't even remember. Divina, what was it? Increases the target's dodge and parry by perception till the end of combat. But not you. You can't do it on yourself, no? Foreboding. Create an area that lasts until the start of the Psycho's next turn. All allies within the area gain. The dodge chance cannot be less than the perception. Right. This I never looked at it. The target gains intelligence, perception, intelligence, and willpower until the end of combat. Perfect. Whenever an ally suffers damage that would make them unconscious, the Psycho immediately gains an extra turn. During that turn, the Psycho can use only intervention. This power can only be used under these conditions. Intervention restores the allies' wounds to the amount they had before the attack that triggered the intervention. However, the psi rating is reduced by -1 until the end of combat. The power can only be used by Psychos with a psi rating of 3 or higher, so it's not gonna help you right at the beginning. All allies that are currently affected by any of the powers gain the perfect timing. Perfect timing. When an ally under the effect dodges or parries, if this ally has a weapon capable of reaching the attacker and has an attack that costs 1 or less AP, that ally immediately counterattacks with this weapon and the perfect timing effect. Again, this is a late game skill. Precognition. I reckon it's late game. Once per round, the Psycho's next turn is moved up by 2 turns in the initiative. This ability may allow the Psycho to have 2 turns during 1 round. That's pretty sick. That one's interesting. I didn't see this one. Edge of Fate. At the beginning of combat, the Psycho's allies gain crit hit chance. The first critical hit removes. So you gotta pick the right person. The sniper. The Psycho's allies gain flawless plan. Every 9th successful dodge and or parry by the Psycho and their allies combined grants +2 additional AP on the next turn. Alright, unnatural luck. When the Psycho uses divination powers on an ally without an unnatural luck effect, the ally gains unnatural luck. When the ally suffers a critical hit, it becomes normal and the unnatural luck effect is removed. Okay. Fatebringer. Allies under the effect of at least 1 psychic power gain additional armor pen. The first dodge attempt of every enemy in combat suffers about your rating. This one is alright. The target gains toughness. All targets within the area suffer -5 plus 3 times the siren to strength and agility. And increase to all. The target ally immediately gains an extra turn with twice the number of their normal, but they all have severe stress, making them suffer 5% of their maximum wounds damage. 5% of their maximum wound damage. Restores if this ability brings the target to full wounds, this power will remove all. Restores 2 times siren plus. Restores wounds to the target. If the ability brings the target to full wounds, this power also removes all stun. Alright, regen. Till the end of the target recovers wounds at the beginning of each turn. Shit, guys. This one's probably 5 cell. Resolve. Momentum. Siren. This one's better. Increased by 1. Crit chance. This one is also good though. What was it saying here? Armor penetration. This is a bit more 15 crit hit chance. The first crit hit removes. So you want the sniper to be doing it, right? Something like that. Hopefully. If you get a sniper, the first crit hit removes. And this extra turn. But it's yeah. I don't know, the target gains intelligence. Why would I think this one is the one to go for. Alright, I'm still not finished, man. I need to go and check something. It's going on and on. We're getting there. Alright, let's continue. See, alright, so it's saying pick which one you want. Which one makes most sense to you? So, come on, man, I hate when this happens. These things, man, wires, cables, man, they always get caught. No matter what you do. Unless you get wireless, right? Anyway, well, so let's see, Xeno. What's this one? Persuasion. Nah. Coercion. Let's just go with this, intelligence. Because this one, fellowship, is already intelligence. This skill is affected by the fellowship. All my stuff is gonna be about intelligence anyway, so I might as well just pick that one. Next, logic, no way. Awareness, no way. Perception. Does it make sense to have a minus to walk? Awareness, logic, oh, that's a pity, isn't it? Just get rid of this one then. Fortunately, you gotta pick one. So now, archetype. You can only choose one of the first tier development paths that your character follows. Each archetype encapsulates a unique set of skills and expertise and represents a special combat specialization, specific one even. From the frontline warrior to the indispensable leader, preferring to command from the rear. Alright, so this is the bit where you pick the officer, not before. I mean, I thought this was the thing. Where is it? I thought it was this thing right here. I think this one's good, man. Look, if I pick this one, look, and then I can pick, you see that one where awareness -5, because you got 10 here. I reckon this might be better than the thing that I picked, you know. But this thing is, you know, magic, right? Magic's always OP. Look, walk +5, and then you pick. You could pick it again, and it will remove it. Even look, +10. So then, by the time you've got over, which one did I pick before? It was this one. And then this one, then that one. It's not too bad because you already got the bonuses already, innit? So that's not that bad. Officer gets, so it's showing you where it will go. Operative, assassin. Officer gives you vanguard, tactician, strategic. Okay. This one is what's it saying? Assassin, bounty hunter, soldier, bounty, tactician, militant. Warrior was going assassin, vanguard. That's militant. It's all depending on what's this, level 16, level 36. Warriors. Charge. They focus melee, movement, dodge, armor, parry, taunt, soaking damage. But why doesn't it allow you to know what these things are? Right. So you don't want me to know what it is right now. Charge. There. So it's like pointless then. Dodge. Yeah. Weapon skill, strength, toughness. And then where does it say it goes down to here? What's this? What's that? Alright. So why didn't you show me that before? So this is where you get to learn about it. The warrior moves in straight line and launches a melee. It must be at least, oh yeah man. So anyway, charge, daring, breach. The warrior immediately restores all this. The warrior has no limit on melee attacks. That's turn. Daring, breach, 2 of them. Personal one. Personal, what's the difference? One's heroic and one's desperate measures, right? And so that's what it starts with, right? Endure. Until the warrior's next turn, all incoming damage is reduced by the tough bonus. Daring breach. The warrior immediately available times. Look how long it's for. I'm gonna make a warrior though, right? Just looking at this. Talents. Gonna have to look through all of them. So anyway, that's warrior. Officer, let's see now. Voice of command. Officer forces an ally to push themselves, increasing the characteristics by 5 plus 2 times the officer's fellowship bonus, which is now dictated by intelligence, right? And then bring it down. Grants an ally an extra turn with action points equal to 2 and no movement points. If the ally is under this, kills an enemy before the officer's turn, they gain a 1-time additional plus 2 times officer's fellowship bonus, which is based on intelligence, fire style. The officer grants an ally an extra turn with 4 LP and there's no attack limit. This is available skills, eh? Improvement, okay, improvements, available talents. It's saying, oh, you should pick this. The range of the abilities is increased by +3. The range of voice command is increased by +6, right? They're trying to tell you these are the ones to get, but you never know. Officer's resolve is increased. Blood of Mars. Whenever an ally uses heroic act, the ally gains temporary wounds equal to... Look, man, you're gonna have to look through all of them. It's time to eat, you know. I'm gonna eat. Beasting. So it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff to look at, you know. So anyway, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna eat and then just continue it. Just looking, right? Definitely will do it. Right now I need to just chew.